Here we are for a quick deck tech for donation deck list from Foz, one of our regular contributors throughout the 2 years or so. This channel's been a huge part of what we've been doing, along with Space Marine and a few others. He's been around for a good long while. He donated to see Legacy Enchantress. Deck is noted for copies of Argothi Enchantress and Enchantress's Presence, along with an Argothi Enchantress in the sideboard, which we'll get to in a minute. This deck basically tries to get one of these into play, chain a bunch of these, Abundant Growths, Utopia Sprawls, Wild Growths, get a bunch of mana into play, and then start chaining off spells with these in play, eventually drawing most of your deck, and then finding some arbitrary way to win. Can go get random hate pieces out of your sideboard with the Living List package, or you can just get Sarah's Sanctum plus a bunch of enchantments in play, cast Emrakul, the Promised End, kind of end the game. A lot of different things. Oblivion Ring and Cast Out kind of give you outs to random Planeswalkers and random hate cards. The Green Sun Zenith is exclusively to go find Argothian Enchantress. Istrad's Invocation is kind of a weird one. It's a copy enchantment that blinks every turn, so you can copy a Doomwake Giant or copy a Elephant Grass, make it more difficult for your opponent to attack. Copy an Abundant Growth, continue drawing cards. Copy Enchantress's Presence for that turn. You're really chained through your deck. This card really overperformed in the matchups that we ended up playing. Solitary Confinement, this is kind of your, stop, you can't kill me thing. Very few things can get to this, like Emrakul Annihilator trigger is about the only thing that can punch through this eventually. Everything else is just a matter of if you have your engine going. The fact that you don't draw cards during your draw step doesn't matter, because you're just drawing a bunch of cards off your Enchantress's Presence. As long as you continue to draw enchantments, you have a couple turns to win the game. And then you have the Living List package, which allows you to get any creature or land out of your sideboard. 3 big lands are Hall of Helia's Generosity, allow you to put enchantments back on top of your deck. Karakas, which allows you to bounce legendaries, things like Emrakul or Leovold or Gristlebrand. Wasteland, there's certain spots this could be relevant. Don't think it really came up in the games we played. And your 4th copy of Argothian Enchantress, so you basically have 4 Living Wish, 2 Zenith, 3 Enchantress to be able to go find to start your chaining. Caselli Pride Mage and Knight of Autumn is kind of your anti-artifact and enchantment tech. They're good against different things. Gaddock, this is kind of your thing to stop things like Storm and Sneak and Show from casting their key spells. Also can shut down Planeswalkers, but oftentimes the decks of Planeswalkers have a bunch of kill spells anyway. Chokes are for kind of your anti-blue tech, as well as In the Eyes of Chaos, which is a weird one, but basically makes it more difficult for your opponent to use things like Force of Will and such. Taxes their mana supremely. Plague Engineer, I'm presuming this is just here for anything tribal, things like goblins, humans, etc. Can wipe the board, can take care of unflipped delvers, etc. Fairy Macabre, this is kind of a emergency anti-graveyard thing, along with your 2 ground seals in the main deck, which keep things in the graveyard from being targeted. Doesn't stop Exhume, but it does shut down all the other targeted reanimation stuff. Doomwake Giant, your 2nd copy. This is kind of your way to sweep the board and kind of an alternative win con. It's going to be relevant against anything that's producing a bunch of tokens, so Lingering Souls, Young Pyromancer, etc. Emrakul, probably your primary win con if the game goes long and you're able to Ascendable Sanctum plus Living Wish. And then Hex Parasite is apparently here to kill Planeswalkers, but I don't think it's ever actually come up in any of the games that I've actually watched preparing for this video, or in any of the games we played today. As a special thanks, I want to thank Foz for this donation list. If you want to see your donation deck list played, there's a couple different ways. At the top of our YouTube page, there is, let's see if I can pull it up. At the top of the YouTube page, there's a donation deck list button that you can use, or you can just, if you're one of our $10 a month Patreon supporters, you also have the ability to do it that way. Basically, the donation buttons here at the top of the main page, donation deck link, that'll take you to a PayPal thing, or you just send me a message, hey, can you play this deck, and then send me the list either on my email at mtgnexus@gmail.com, or just message me on Discord and we'll work on the details for what deck you want to see played, etc. I'm willing to play all main constructed formats, so no commander, but I'm willing to do things like Legacy, Vintage. We can try it out. I do believe, is there a Vintage League? Probably want to make sure before I say. Nope. Legacy, Modern, yeah, I guess there is a Vintage League. So if you're interested in seeing Vintage, we could try that out. I've never played Vintage, so be aware of that. But anything Modern, Standard, etc., I'm more than willing to play. Mainly stick to Modern, but Legacy or Modern here on Magic Online could work to see maybe on Arena or here on Magic Online if you want to see a Standard deck. But primarily stick to Modern. But Foz wanted to see this Legacy Enchantress deck, and he's kind of known for his mono white prison decks popping up here in Modern. As always, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you like what you're seeing on the channel, please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up, leaving a constructive comment down below, and let me know how terribly I piloted this deck, because I'm sure there was a ton of mistakes considering it's my first time ever playing this deck. Anyways, let's get into the matches. Here we are with match number 1 with Foz's Donation League to see Legacy Enchantress. This hand could be reasonable. We are lacking one of our Enchantress spells, but we do have the ability to go turn 2 Ground Seal against some type of graveyard, plus a couple of Oblivion Rings here to potentially interact on turn 2. So Bayou, Savannah. I think I'm just going to go with Forest, Topia Sprawl on white, as opposed to exposing ourselves to a Savannah, getting blown out by a copy of Badlands. Sure. Duress. This is probably Storm then? Probably just take a Ground Seal to avoid us cantripping. Nope. Alright, hope we don't die. Cantrip trigger. Elephant Grass doesn't really do a whole lot here. Tap it for green. Pass turn. Am I dead yet? Maybe. Still not 100% sure our opponent's on Storm, but Bitter Blossom? Alright, sure. So, tap that for white. Does Zenith allow us to do? I guess we can get a regular Enchantress. Enchantress has a casting cost of 2, so Zenith for Enchantress itself. Could play that, tap it for a bunch of white mana. Do we want to play Elephant Grass here? Maybe. Alright. I guess we could potentially Living Wish for Emrakul next turn, and then we'd have... We'd be pretty close to getting Emrakul mana here. So... Anyways, I have no idea what we're up against. I saw a couple of lands and a Bitter Blossom. Don't think we really want any of this stuff. I think we just go ahead and leave it as is. Not that there's a ton you can bring in against them anyway. Living Wish only gets creatures or lands, so maybe there's a consideration to bring in chokes out of the sideboard, but I don't think our opponent showed us anything that we particularly care about. We didn't see any islands or anything out of them, so hopefully this next thing will go well too. There aren't too many decks that could be playing Bitter Blossom, so... Legacy... Grixis Dreadhorde over? Nah. I have no idea what we're up against. Sounds reasonable. We have turn 1 Topia Sprawl, turn 2 Enchantress. Guess if they hit us with a Duress here... Yeah, Thoughtseize, sure. Do you even take here? Possibly the Sprawl. Just take the Enchantress, sure. That's a little rough. Opponent's just some style of discard deck, I guess. Sure. Take presence here, which is annoying. Wow. Alright. Pass turn. Player would draw a card, except the first card they draw on their draw step each turn. The player discards a card instead. If a player discards a card this way, they draw a card. If a player doesn't discard it this way, top deck of their library into their graveyard. Alrighty then, so see exactly how this works. Trigger. Discard Enchantment's Presence. What could I potentially live English for here? Right, can't cast it this turn. So annoying. Problem is I can't cast any of these cards. I guess with the abundant growth I can cast it next turn. Alright, see what they have here. Chandra. Okay, Bloodstained Mire, sure. Interesting to see. Alright, so we gotta get the solitary confinement down, I guess. That is... okay, sure. What could I even get here? Fortunately, I think we're just dead. Plan was entirely around that solitary confinement. Still don't know there's anything we necessarily want to bring in here. Him... Alright, keep this hand reasonable enough. Decent chance our opponent has discard spells anyway, so... Fortunately, we don't have... I'll just take Enchantress's presence here. Pass turn. If they hem us, it doesn't really do a whole lot here. This is once again annoying, but whatever. Hopefully I can get this invocation down, start drawing some cards. Annoying. Pass turn. Hopefully you don't have him here. Just pass the turn. Don't cast anything more. Don't cast anything more. so flippin' annoying. Alright. Alright. Losing Guile slightly sucks, but here comes Kaya back. Chains. Yep. Sarah Sanctum. What a weird deck. And I don't think there's anything we can wish for here and cast, so I'm pretty sure we're just dead. Yeah, this... Guess we should have just grabbed a knight or something to blow up this Canonist, so... It's all for match number 1, unfortunately. You live, you learn with these style of archetypes. Here for match number 2 on the draw. Sand's got some acceleration, a prison element, and a redraw, so I think we keep it because there's no guarantee. Blue Delta go, sure. Delver. Do you have a daze? Alright. Annoying, but fortunately we still have plenty of... Oh. Blue-black Death Shadow. That's a little scarier. Hymn to Torak. Delightful. Why would you show us that? That seems... Okay. Guess you're just trying to get your Death Shadows prepared. Brainstorm, sure. If they want to daze that, they can daze that, sure. Probably getting him next turn. Dotsies. Probably losing the Living Wish here would be my guess. Took the elephant grass. Alright. Sure. That back, that back, and that back. I guess we probably shouldn't have cast that. Because whatever we grab, we're just going to lose to... Just weaken their ability to grab something like, Now, if they want to attack, they can't hem us. Hopefully this will allow us enough time to... Okay, so you're not planning on attacking? Cool. Guess I could have grabbed Enchantress there, because there's a possibility they weren't going to hem us this turn. Wasteland has no targets. Currently. This tropical island obviously will change that factor a little bit. Wow. So... Invocation, Zenith, Sanctum. Problem is, I really want to draw all of those cards. I guess Sanctum can go, because it's not really doing a whole lot here anyway. See if they choose to discard spell us. Yeah, I guess they can hem us plus attack this turn. Need to find a way to stop that aberration. I was like, wait a sec. Sure. See if this gets a daze or something. Alright. Gotta hope to get a little bit lucky with that third card down, whatever it is. Is there any creature we can grab out of our sideboard? How much mana can we produce at this point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite enough for Emrakul, unfortunately. So do this. Do this. Do that. Transform this into what, a wild growth? Nope. Nope. I guess I'm not going to have enough mana to do what I need to do anyway. So I think all that was for naught anyway, because I needed to, I guess, copy a wild growth, but I would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wouldn't have had quite enough mana anyway. So definitely want to bring in the chokes. Any other cards? Wasteland could be reasonable, I guess. I guess in the eyes of the... feels like more of a actual... What do we not play? I guess Ground Seal doesn't have a ton going on in this matchup. Can probably shave one of those. And Doom Lake Giant, put that in the sideboard. Trying to figure this out, Foz, man. This is a deck more up your alley than mine, though. What a deck. Certainly makes you think a lot. I think this deck is a little bit more straightforward in Modern. It's like, do I find the prison pieces I need? Do I not? Alright, well. Just curious what cards Death Shadow could possibly have. Secrets. Doesn't seem like our opponent's going to have a lot for this style of matchup. their main deck of Thought Seizes, Dazes, Force of Negations, Force of Wills kind of stuff, probably fine anyway. Be on the play here. A little bit rough if we get I guess we can't get dazed here on one, so it's unlikely our opponent will counterspell one of these. They're really considering forcing this? Say that'd be a hell of a soul read if they did. Hopefully we draw a land next turn. Question is, what do you take here? Probably Utopia Sprawl. Hope to stick us on mana. Nice thing about being on the basics plan is their wasteland plan is significantly worse. So it's kind of interesting, what do I name here? Would I name blue for Invocation, or do you have the days? I guess you could have brought in Leona's Triumph. I suppose that's a card you could certainly have brought in. Gonna guess we're just facing him down a fast Death Shadow. Yep. Like, how many of those stupid things can you possibly have? Yeah, that's annoying. Let's fetch main phase, play around Stifle. Don't think their deck plays it, but no reason to, Fortunately, we burned through 2 Living Wishes and a lot of other nonsense, so... Yep, hopefully you don't have a second one. Stubborn denial, too. Jeez. $1 billion counterspells. And I got nothing here, friend, so take your time, take your time. Chooses not to shuffle, that's fantastic. Alright, so still a 2-turn clock, 3-turn clock. Yeah, no blocks. Might have to block next turn, but... it's a lot of Delvers. You have a Force of Will here. Problem for them is if we draw something like Elephant Grass off this, they're in a lot of trouble. Probably just going to have to chump block with the Enchantress this turn, which kind of sucks. I mean, giving them full information is kind of whatever here, but I don't know that I really have another choice anyway. Delver triggers. In fact, those are probably going to flip, knowing the fact that they kept on their Ponder, so... Brainstorm, sure. Presumably they're looking for a Liliana's Triumph here to just end the game. It's possible they already have the game wrapped up, and, you know, if they have a counterspell, it's kind of whatever. Sure. Interesting one to go after. So one card in hand, unless it's Stubby D, we might have some outs here. Maximize our draw chances, however small they are here. Abundant growth. Trigger. Don't think there's anything we can get with Zenith here. So, good games, well played, friend. Good games, well played. Back here on the play for match number 3. Is this even a hand that I would consider mulliganing? We have an Elephant Grass to buy ourselves some time against an aggro deck, so I think we'll keep this. These invocations could be decent. Particularly if our opponent's on something like Reanimator or something. Been a while since I played Legacy, so... Elephant Grass, I'm guessing? If you're a Delver, you'll care about Elephant Grass. If you're... Okay, looks like you might not be Delver. Still think I run this out, even in the face of something like Daze. If they're that afraid of it, they might Daze this. Just to get that into play before they can Wasteland the Trop. It's the only blue spell left in our deck, so it's kind of whatever. With the perfect Brainstorm. Okay, so still could be Delver, but I'm thinking more of a control style strategy. Yeah, sure, it's kind of whatever, my man. Or woman. Guess that guy, 662. Nope. This is the kind of card that'll probably warrant a Force of Will. Nope. Alright. Guess we should have cast this Elephant Grass. Just to start drawing cards. Okay. Sure. Triggers. triggers. Man. Nothing, huh? Enchantress's presence. Nope. Nope. Ground seal. Ground seal, draw a card. This might warrant a kill spell or a counter spell of some kind. Triggers. Do I even care about this point? White, I guess. Started doing it, whatever it is. Okay, 5 mana. Finally gonna do something. Am I dead? Ponder, sure. Okay. So your storm with a really bad draw. Dark ritual ad nauseam. Alright. And it conceded. Interesting. I think this one has interesting applications in this matchup. Macabre. Chokes to potentially slow down their mana. Beyond that, Cards and graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities. So... Ground Seal can probably go... Copy of Oblivion Ring? Or am I just getting rid of these cast outs and leaving in my ground seals because they can trip? Alright, apparently I was just a storm player with a really bad draw. I mean, sure. Sand does a whole lot of nothing, but I think we keep. Elephant Grass could potentially cut off, like, Empty the Warrens as a game plan, though I think if they storm us, they're just going to be able to kill us. Alright, well... So, I could Living Wish, grab Gadok, but can't cast it this turn. So, I think my best bet is just to Enchantress's Presence and play into Living Wish for Teaglesworth next turn and hope I don't die. Alright, am I dead? Probably gotta take the Living Wish here. Ooh, baby. Yes. Sir Teaglesworth. I think we have a Savannah in this mess. I hope we have a Savannah in this mess. Gadok, go. Trigger this. Trigger that. Cast an Elephant Grass, draw a card. Cast an Elephant Grass, draw a card. Play a Forest. Cast an Elephant Grass, draw a card. Start to chip away at their life total. No. 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 Trigger this. Draw a card. Continue to chip away at their life total. Go. No, bounce Teaglesworth. Alright. What can I Living Wish for to make their life even more miserable? Don't know that there is anything. So 7, 6, 7. Kasali, no. Enchantress to continue going off, no. How much mana can we do here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab the trop, play this, do that. So did I just Living Wish for Wasteland? I already played my land this turn, didn't I? Please, Windswept Heath, yeah. Undo. No blue mana, unfortunately, so I guess this is whether our opponent can kill us or not. Okay. Okay. Sure. 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 Yep. Okay. Sure. Okay. And concession. Woo! We gotta win. Alright, we'll be back for match number 4. We're back for match number 4 here. We'll be on the play, which is always nice. Wish our opponent good luck. I think this is a hand we keep. Turn 2 Enchantress into other stuff. I think blue is more important of a color here. Hopefully we're able to get the Enchantress down. Ooh, humans? Interesting. Alright, so interesting. What does humans have in this format? Champion of the Parish. Master and Mentor. Alright, well, we're going to need to find elephant grass pretty quickly. Sure. this, get rid of your mentor. Okay. 4 mana. I have no idea what's going on here, besides it looks like it's a monster mentor deck. Karn the Great Creator, huh? Do you go grab here out of your sideboard? Lion's Eye Diamond. Bomberman? Take care of the Karn. I don't want you to have another active turn with that going. I suppose there's like some risk here we could die to some shenanigans, but let's grab this, play the Abundant Grove, target that. Pass turn. Guess if they have Ariok Champion here, we could die to Bomberman. Alright, sure. So that means your whole board's getting wiped, right? Monastery Mentor. Hello, game over. Still feels like this might be Bomberman. Okay. Only draw I see occurs during or the next upkeep. I mean, my opponent can sit here. Yep, during the next upkeep, during next turn's upkeep. So we sit here and wait, friend. Let's see, Bomberman. Salvagers. Sorry, dear friend, I'm not conceding, so, I mean, you do you. Opponent keeps waiting for us to concede, but I have no reason to, so. Burp-a-derp-a-derp. So, they can sit here and continue to play with themselves. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and come back when we get to the conclusion of this game. Alright, we're back. Opponent gets to draw a bunch of cards, that's cool. Don't think there's any way they can kill us during our turn, so... Alright. Do the thing. Go with... what? Black? Trigger. Do the thing. Trigger. Solitary confinement. Go. Land for turn. Cast. Ground seal. Are you beginning to understand, friend? I don't particularly care. Sure. Draw a bunch of the cards. Infinite mana, draw the deck. Cool. What do we pitch here? Sure. What you got left in your wishboard, friend? You have access to 5 mana. 6 mana. So you can go get Lattice, but Lattice doesn't do anything because of this guy right here. Snaring Bridge. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So, what do we pitch here? Let's see. Do I like this to become something else? No, I would not. So, with English. Yes. Grab Night of Autumn. Cast Night of Autumn. Goodbye, Monsignor Labriche. Enchantress's presence. Trigger, Mary's Guile, triggers. So, I could play that out, but I think I'm going to hold on to that one. Sure. Well, it's like infinite mana, infinite cards, win the game. No, no, not really. Mm-hmm. whole new hand. Opponent's like, but my combo's supposed to win the game. Didn't this time, friend. Didn't this time. Am I seeing anything that particularly scares me here? Alright, cool. Got a Monastery Mentor. Get a bunch of tokens. Look at the cards. Alright, and our pawn scoops. Cool. I have the infinite combo! Why do you not concede? Because, my friend, your infinite combo matters not. So... is there anything we want to board in at all? We can still run it back this way. Now that we know we're against Bomberman. Basically, they just continued to do that combo for a while while I actually stopped the recording, drew a bunch of cards, untapped, killed their dude, and then it's just like, oh, okay, cool. On to the next thing. I mean, they do have things on the sideboard. Disenchant Nature's Chant. Cast Outs of their own. So. Sand seems fine. Human. Shocker. Pass turn. Human. Chalice on one. Sure. Countered. Yep. Draw a card. How many 1-drops are there actually in the deck? Quite a few, but it's mostly the mana things. Sure. Ballista, cool. Ground Seal trigger. Opponent is spending a lot of time thinking over there. Yep. Now I have 4 mana, which is a little scary. So these 3 are just basically cantrips and triggers at this point. Guess if they do the Bomberman thing, I'm in some trouble this turn. Okay, Karn, sure. Take down, get Ensnaring Bridge. Sure. Trigger. Not sure what else they'd get besides Ensnaring Bridge here. I guess they could potentially get Lattice, but then Dewbank Giant just kills it. Alright, fair enough. Go get lattice. Let's waste some time. Fortunately, our opponents wasted so much time, killing us. Is just like, cool. Yeah, I guess the last is a way to win the game. Unfortunately, they had the disenchant at the right time, so... Can't cast anything, friends, so why are you wasting your time for something that doesn't change the clock? Yep. Go right ahead, friend. GG. Alright, so anything we want to change after seeing that game? Deck doesn't have any islands in it. I think we just rinse and repeat again. Yeah, seems fun. Fine-ish. I mean, basically a setup hand. Do I name here blue? Really depends on how explosive our opponent's draw is, really. Okay. Chalice on one. Cool. I think they greatly rate how strong Chalice on one is against us. Grab Enchantress. Squirrel Lady, go. Well, in order to play anything else, they have to sack their City of Traders. Apparently somebody just followed us. Interesting. Ooh, they going for the Bomberman combo? Oh, Karn. Karn's annoying, but what does it really do with 1 mana in play? I guess it could go grab Lion's Eye Diamond? Sure. Sure. Gives me an out if they go 1, 2, 3. Does that give me an out though? Oh, that's kind of disgusting. So they're gonna be able to lock me out this turn. 3, 4, 5. Yep. Yep. Sure. So close, yet so far away. I think we'll go ahead and concede here. That's unfortunate, but, you know, whatever. Alright, on to match number 5. Alright, here we are for match number 5. And seems alright. Gives us a little bit of card selection with Miri's Guile. Trigger me this, Batman. Just grab a basic forest for now. I'm not really interested in drawing any of those cards that were on top of my deck. So, I mean, they do accelerate us theoretically, but is the opponent really thinking about stifling this? Alright, sure. Whatever. Brainstorm in response to abundant growth. Okay. You want to daze this? You do not. Alright. Cast down, sure. 3 copies of Elephant Growth. Could be completely irrelevant or completely relevant. Not sure if they're like on Storm or what are they on. Am I dead? I'd like to to use this ability. Legacy. A format which I know basically nothing about, and Foz wanted me to play probably one of the more difficult decks in the format to try to figure out what they're doing, because there's a lot of tutoring between Living Wish and Green Sun Zenith. Yes, I'd like to use this ability. Yes. 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 This is probably going to get counterspell if they have one. We're going to find out real quick whether this is Storm or not. This is a fair deck, they're just going to counterspell this. Okay. Are you a fair deck? Maybe. Am I pitching to my force of will? Yep. Pitching force of will to force of will. Okay. That and go. So, Sneak and Show? Okay. Cast out. So I definitely think I'm interested in this Living Wish. Try to shut out them casting. Show and tell? Not show and tell, sneak and show. Sneak attack. Ow. Wah, wah, wah. a little bit lucky there. Show and tell. Okay, do we have anything? Ah, yes, the chokes. So, is there anything else? Oh, right, that one. That one's pretty good too. I think we'll just leave Caracas in the sideboard. In the Eye of Chaos. Alright. This hand's a little bit awkward from a mana standpoint. I still think with Choke and Cast Out, we have a pretty reasonable reason to keep that in our hand. Need to hit land drops, so there's land drop number 2. Sure. I mean, they can still get it back, but it's just funny. See if we can get them to bite on this Living Wish. Grab a Teaglesworth. If they have a bounce spell, we're so dead anyway, so. Go ahead and read that one, friend. Alright. Sure. You have another show and tell? Mr. Teaglesworth. Untitled English 4 here. Doomwing Giant, Enchantress. We just get ourselves a Caracas and pass the turn. What even increases the clock here? It's possible I should be deploying this invocation. Brainstorm. It's costing additional mana. Oh my lord. We actually got our second match win. My. Alright, we'll be back in a bit with the wrap-up for this deck. So we're back for the wrap-up on Enchantress. This deck is very interesting. The first two matches we kind of got wiped, and then the last three were really competitive. I don't know enough about the deck to make a really good opinion on the deck. I do think a lot of the little things that I wondered in the deck tech, like the Oblivion Rings, the cast outs, you know, the Living Wish package, whether this is all the correct stuff, but it does seem like this deck has a lot of tools against a lot of different decks, and it's just a matter of trying to find the right balance and package. We lost to that Mardu deck, felt a little bit weird. They had just enough disruption and thing, and it was possible if I would have grabbed Knight of Autumn instead of the Argothian Enchantress out of the sideboard, that killing that Aethersworn Canonist might have been enough to let us get out of that game. So, pretty close to a, despite the 2-3, we could have easily been 3-2 or even 4-1 if I'd had one more turn to set up this cast out against that Karn, the Great Creator out of the Bomberman deck. So, lots of stuff going on with this deck. As we saw, a deck has a lot of different ways to win. Obviously, the biggest win con is Serra's Sanctum into Emrakul, the Promised End. Outside of that, not really a whole lot we covered outside of the intro to the deck. I want to thank Foz for donating to see the deck list played. Deck was a lot of fun. A lot of thinking, a lot a bit different than the stuff we normally play outside of maybe Foz's prison deck, and even that deck. I think that deck's just pretty much, do I draw my right hate card or do I lose? This one feels like you have a little bit more control over the outcome of the various things you're trying to do. So, want to thank Foz for donating to see this deck played. Once again, if you want to see a deck donated, there's two different ways. There is a donation link at the top of the main channel on YouTube, $10 donation, and then email me the particular list or message me on Discord. We'll get you pretty much any deck in any format, pretty much. I'll play it to the best of my ability. As you saw with this, I'm not terribly familiar with Legacy right now. And this deck is definitely different from the styles I normally play. Or if you're one of our $10 a month Patreons, one of the bonuses with that is I do a bonus league for you every month, as we'll have one for Space Marines just got a control list coming up here in the next couple of days. But anyways, I want to thank Foz for donating to see this deck played. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of thinking. I apologize for the sore throat / a lot of coughing throughout these videos, but you know, 'tis the season with the weather changing for people to start getting colds and stuff. So, anywho, wrapping up this video. Special thanks to Foz. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. This has been John for MTG Nexus. Hope everybody has a great day.